strategy that will allow you to um, pretty much make a lot of money, but only if you follow the strategy exactly as I described. This is a very unique strategy. Not a lot of people are even aware that it exists, but I wanted to describe it to you that it does. And when I first discovered it, it was absolutely bonkers. I didn't really think much about it when I first discovered it. It was one of those typical days. I was doom scrolling on TikTok, trying to figure out a way for how to get more leads for my talent agency. And upon constantly doom scrolling and going through multiple trials, triumphs, and tribulations of hoping to find the next strategy, I came across a very interesting solution for how I can combine multiple communities together to promote my talent agency. And of course, as a business owner, if you have a business, this is definitely for you. If you don't have a business, this is also good for you because it will allow you to build your own business and, of course, learn the strategy, how to operationalize it, and how to execute it manually. At first, manually. I like to cover this manual steps that you want to execute in order to get a lot of leads for your business. So the first thing, before I talk about the steps, I wanted to tell you, like, what did I do? How does it work? And what am I talking about? So imagine you have a business. Imagine you're trying to make some money, but you're not getting any customers. And let's say your business is a talent agency, or maybe AI automation company, or maybe dropshipping TikTok shop, or maybe any other kind of plumbing store, or any other kind of business. And what you're trying to do, you're trying to get a lot of customers, but nobody is joining and it's crickets. So how do you solve that problem? One of the ways to do that, and this is the strategy that I'm describing right now, is to use multiple communities. So what I did is I quickly became a goat in two communities. Of course, the definition of quickness is relative. In reality, it took a bit of time, but now that I know what ingredients I had to use in order to become a goat, I could explain it to you. So this way, you could do this a lot quicker. So as soon as I became a goat into communities, I started cross in a bilateral manner, cross promoting both communities. It's absolutely insane. This strategy is absolute bunkers. I don't know what I smoked up that day when I discovered it, but it was smooth sailing when I did. So, what are we doing? So, thank you guys for joining. And we got Daniel, we got Michelle. Today, we're describing innovative marketing strategies that my talent agency started to use only recently to get a lot of leads for my business. I wanted to describe those strategies real quick. And who knows, maybe you can mimic the same strategies for your business and make extra income. And in fact, guys, when I first discovered this, I really didn't know what to do with it. I thought it was, you know, kind of like a weird strategy because the strategy mentioned that I need to be promoting other people. But I didn't really, I couldn't really figure it out. How can I just promote other people and make money out of it? It was just such a foreign topic for me as a talent agent's owner. And I imagine many of you probably heard the same advice. But how do you convert that advice to money? After all, intuitively, when you promote somebody else, you're not exactly promoting yourself. At least that's what I thought until I started using this strategy. Now, typically, when you start using this strategy, what happens, you don't really kind of, your brain doesn't create those neural pathways just yet if you haven't used it. But if you start using it, all of a sudden, you start discovering how you could interconnect the person who you're promoting with whatever it is like that you're promoting. And I know some of you will say, well, I don't get it. Like, what is the framework for that? Is it is it something that I could learn? And trust me, guys, I was chasing that framework for like 2 years, trying to figure it out how to do that. And finally, I finally figured out how to do it. When I figured out how to do it, it was so easy, and I just can't believe nobody explained it to me. But I figured I'd do you guys a favor and explain it to you, so this way you use it right away, and it's gonna be smooth sailing for you. You're gonna get a lot of customers for business, but it does require promoting others. It does require promoting communities, multiple communities, and creating bilateral relationships across both communities. So in simple words, you need to become a goat in two communities, and you need to be like Donald Trump, creating bilateral relationships where where you give benefits for one country to and get benefits from the other country, but trying to do this in a bilateral manner and in a fair manner. Except you're doing this in communities, and like how? And this is a really abstract topic that many moms over 40 and many side hustlers who join this channel, they get mesmerized by this content because nobody precisely shows an example for how to pull this off. Because intuitively your mind kind of cancels out and it immediately starts thinking, oh, I'm promoting some other guy, our community. No, that's not gonna work for me. Nah, I'm not. It just naturally feels opposite of what your goal is. But in reality, once you start doing it, you'll start developing neural pathways that will start triggering new opportunities for you, but only when you start promoting goals. So when I realized how powerful this strategy was, I immediately created a bunch of Freedom Fusion automations, a very lucrative workflows that many moms over 40 can utilize in order to quickly become goats in many of those communities, ranging from school and FUD. As soon as I created those tools, those Freedom Fusion automations, I started using them, and I couldn't believe how easy it was, because all of a sudden I used to have this problem of trying to figure out what am I going to tell to somebody. Let's say I see somebody's post and I'm thinking to my mind, well, like what kind of message am I going to write to respond to this post in such a way that I sell something, in such a way that I pitch something, but without sounding salesy. And like, how do I do this? Well, as it turns out, I needed to introduce an element of time. Sort of like, I'm sure some of you are big fans of Einstein and all sorts of UFOs, and I'm sure you guys are familiar of time and space kind of graphs that you did before in mathematics. And I'm sure many of you guys familiar with basic X and Y kind of graph. Now, what the when I discovered this, when I discovered the time dimension in my marketing, it was like discovering a triple murder mystery. That's how impactful it was on the strategy. What I realized what I was doing wrong, I wasn't introducing, I wasn't letting my message get cooked. And I wasn't really, like, I would be just kind of oversharing without letting it cook. So as soon as I introduced this time dimension into my marketing strategy, while cross promoting both communities, where I would mention something about one community and another community, it would all of a sudden became like a daisy chain reaction, like a snowball effect, that where you have a little snowball that's moving down the mountain and it's getting bigger and bigger and getting accumulated. And the way I was able to accomplish this is by setting up, figuring out exactly what does the community offer. How can I truly be the digital feudal lord? Back in the days, feudal lords used to ride around on horses and conquer the land, and the feudal lords would be the ones that would provide the most opportunities for the workers during the feudalism times. And I thought about it, and I must tell you, I don't know what I smoked that day to figure it out to such conclusion and create such level of comparison. And but I figured out a system called Feudal System Framework, where you learn, execute, reflect, mentor, and squash atomic habits as you do so across multiple platforms, while cross promoting yourself across multiple platforms in a bidirectional manner. Now, how does that look like? How can you describe something like this? Well, you see, guys, let's say you pick a community, and the first question is, okay, like, why would I be promoting people in that community? Well, because you want to become that feudal lord. The more opportunities you create for community members, the easier it's going to be for you to become that feudal lord. The modern day digital feudal lord is the one that can create the most opportunities that can provide the biggest feudal share for the cultivators, the workers that are residing inside of those communities. Now, granted, where do you find those communities? They are digital communities, and there are gazillions of them, guys. But the psychology and the principle of the feudal system framework applies to all of them. All you have to do is find a community that you love, identify the goat in there, and start cross promoting that goat across every social, including whatever other community that you also want to become a goat in. So the idea is you become the goat twice. Now, keep something in mind. You get to become a goat twice, but it's going to be gazillion times easier for you to become a goat twice, because whatever you do in one community, you just repurpose in another, and it becomes just exponentially easier. The only catch is you really need to have your tool doing all the work for you and kind of repurposing some of the content that you're creating and using a bunch of AI tools. So this way, when you're creating a post, it repurposes whatever it is that you mentioned in one community, but for another. But how do you do this in a way without getting overwhelmed? How do you do this in a way where you could just respond to multiple messages inside of the community without thinking, effortlessly floating through a combination of different high cardinality, heterogeneous complexities, accelerating your pace, slowing yourself down, and effortlessly navigating through some of those treacherous hurdles, triumphs, and tribulations? How do you do this without getting cooked? Well, that's exactly what I was trying to figure out, and it took me a bit of time, but finally I managed to figure it out how it works. I became a goat in two communities, and I started cross-promoting both of them, giving opportunities for people to discover each other across those communities. I started creating incredible videos that would captivate other community members. I would be giving multiple reasons for people to sign up into premium memberships of those community goals. And every time I would do that, I would include my offer in a mix. So it would be almost impossible for me to get banned from the community. Why? Because it's like trying to bite off your own arm if you do that. So if you join a community and you see a goat and they see you kind of saying, hey, join this goat community, but by the way, you're also going to learn some fire skills from my own community at a discounted rate, providing that you are a premium member of that goat, then out of a sudden you just created this daisy chain effect. You created an opportunity for others to join the goat's premium community while also squeezing yourself in a mix. This can be applied it could be applied symmetrically using bidirectional properties, the properties of symmetry of mathematics. And you could use those properties of mathematics to become rich. Why? Because no longer you are worried about your content being banned just because it looks salesy. Instead, you get to have unlimited advertising without actually paying any money for advertisement. Now, that's pretty cool. When I discovered this, it was like another, it was like literally like trying to solve a triple murder mystery. And I wanted to share that with you. And of course, if you want to see an example for how I'm doing this, for how I'm squeezing those posts into one community and another community, so this way you get to see how it looks like from a third-person perspective, and then get to repeat the same exact thing yourself, then I do want to let you know that we do have beautiful Freedom Fusion automations for my Threads Stack subscribers. This is a digital power bundle that you would get access to in my community that spills all the tea. And also you get access, as part of that bundle, you get access to our Freedom Fusion automations, where you get to operationalize some of those incredible TikTok strategies, Threads strategies, and where you just press a button and those strategies just work, and you don't really have to learn anything from TikTok gurus telling you what's hot. Instead, you just press a button and you get guided by AI avatar that walks you through beautiful Freedom Fusion path towards your own future, your future you, helping you go on TikTok, helping you promote your content, telling you precisely what steps to take, how to do it, and which way to do it, etc., etc., etc. And all that comes with $14.99 membership. Plus, you get to ask questions. You can jump into our workshops, and you get access to premium guides. We have multiple premium guides that are perfect for many moms over 40 and other side hustlers who are struggling to get leads, struggling to build their own business, struggling to have that additional encouragement and support, getting that additional encouragement and support. In my community, you get premium access to, you get priority access to encouragement, priority access to support, access to Freedom Fusion automations, and access to our Threads Stack Digital Power Bundle, and discounted access to our Feudal Incubators and Freedom Fusion system. So, guys, without further ado, I don't want to bore you. That's all I wanted to say, and I'll see you next time. If you guys are interested, DM the word PAF on my Insta.